Greetings my friends and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I've got another instalment of underrated albums for you. Albums that in my opinion are all too often overlooked and just don't get the love and appreciation that they deserve. And today I'm talking about Down, from Down South, Southern Doom Sludge Lords that have a superb lineup with some very well-renowned musicians. Phil Anselmo of Pantera fame on vocals. You've got Kirk Winstein on guitars, the riff lord that he is. Pepper Keenan, and so on, so on. So the underrated album in their very short catalogue, in my opinion, is this article here, Down to A Bustle In Your Hedgerow, which is, it's a pretty odd album title. Not entirely sure what that's all about. But this album from 2002 was the follow-up to the mighty and monumentally successful NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana, a doomy sludge masterpiece that is just one of those albums, start to finish, that just does not fail to deliver. It's so crushingly heavy. Those riffs are monstrous. Phil doing some of the best vocal work of his career, his illustrious career. So it's going to be a tough act to follow. Very tough act indeed. The third album, 2007's Over the Under. I often say that the wrong way round, so I'm glad that I didn't hear. But this is a superb album. It's quite a bit darker, but it's heavy as hell. It's an absolute punisher. So you've got two very good, quite impactful albums. Certainly left their mark. Highly regarded in the doom sort of sludge metal scene. And you've got this little album, this awkward filler in the successful doom album sandwich. I think this is a fantastic record. It has some material on it that does sound quite a bit different from anything that we had on NOLA, but it's freaking heavy as hell at times. It's really emotive and deep at times. It's a really well balanced, well written album. Some killer material. We've got Lysergic Funeral Procession kicking off the album there. Heavy as hell, aggressive. It's an angry track. There's Something on My Side is a very interesting, bit of a weird number. It's got a few different sort of elements in there. Aggressive, The Man That Follows Hell. Stained Glass Cross, the fourth track, is more of a Sabbath number. Overall, doom metal is always going to be rooted in Sabbath, but directly, that is a very Sabbathy, it's quite proggy as well. There's progressive elements in there as well. You've got some keyboards thrown in there, some organ. Really great track, heavy, but it's very different. Certainly not like anything that you would have heard on NOLA. We've got two tracks, Ghosts Along the Mississippi and Learn From This Mistake, which are very emotive, very raw, very strong, slower tracks. Phil's performing some incredible vocal work there, and it's very deep, it's very dark stuff, but like I say, it's raw, it's got genuine emotion, genuine passion, and it just, instrumentally, it sounds amazing. It really is very memorable. It's very intoxicating stuff. Elsewhere, you've got some really, really, really heavy moments. You've got Beautifully Depressed is a great track. New Orleans is a Dying Whore. Now that's a strong album title indeed. Track title, I should say. Very strong, but it's so heavy. That has some riffs on there, really thunderous riffs that are far more resonant with the sort of stuff that we had going on NOLA, the debut, but it is damn heavy, sounds superb. Elsewhere, we have Dog Tired, Again, interesting track. But the closing track there, Landing on the Mountains of Megiddo. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That is a longer piece. It's very progressive, it's heavy, it's got a lot of different elements going on in there. But it just sounds great. It doesn't really sound a huge amount like any of the members' respective other musical outlets, no. But you've got so much going on there. Lots of very doomy, heavy passages, yes. But you've got a lot more going on in terms of progressive elements, of traditional sort of metal elements, of almost experimental stuff going on as well. So overall, I think that this is a very good album. It's quite a long album, but you've got some really killer tracks. If you're not familiar with this album, of course, check it out. But if you want a little taster, I would say Lysergic Funeral Procession. I would say Stained Glass Cross, just because it's so different. Ghosts Along the Mississippi, and New Orleans is a Dying Whore, because it's so freaking heavy and has one of the best, if not the best, riff of the album. So, down to a Bustle In Your Hedgerow, a must for fans of Sabbath, of Doom, of Sludge, of Crowbar, a superb band, and in my opinion, a really criminally underrated album. Are you familiar with it? What do you think of this album? What do you think of Down? I'm interested to know. If you haven't heard the album, check it out. You'll not regret. And then let me know what you think. Very interested to know, of course. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, as always. Take care, my friends, and stay heavy.